I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
I'm glad we waited.
This world has been full of freaks since before humans were roaming. And when watching any TV show, I feel like there's always one character dedicated to the freak position. Like, even in non-adult shows, you have your simps all around. It's like when the horny drive takes over, people totally forget about everything around them. It grabs you by the chest and doesn't let go. Which is probably something Johnny Bravo would do. Johnny Bravo by far passes all cartoon down bad characters. And really looking back at it, how the hell is this show age rated for 10+? There's no way nowadays they gonna let a character like Johnny Bravo air on TV for kids to watch. Fun fact though, apparently Seth MacFarlane and Butch Hartman both wrote for the show. Kinda crazy considering one went to make the most wild adult cartoon to ever exist, and another made the most family-friendly cartoons to ever exist. But for people that haven't seen Johnny Bravo, first off, you young as then you've never seen Johnny Bravo? I know you grew up watching Cocomelon and all, like, are you even old enough to watch this video? The premise of Johnny Bravo is very simple. Johnny Bravo tries to get with any girl within his peripheral. Johnny Bravo is the perfect definition of doing anything for the hoes. Think of the worst thing your homie could do that's absolutely down bad. Sending gifts and money to OnlyFans girls, throwing their friends under the bus to look cool. Johnny Bravo's whole origin story of how he even got buff was literally because he wanted to impress this girl. And believe it or not, he did it in 6 weeks. I don't know what type of steroids this man took to go from this to this, but hand them to me. I don't care about the side effects. I've been working out for 4 years and I'm not even close to that. That's how you know the horny drive has a different type of power. He went from looking like the cinnamon stick off Apple Jacks to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Don't want to finish the name because YouTube might confuse it for another word and age restrict this video. Buff ass is my point. And you know what? I actually understand it. That's every guy's origin story for getting started in the gym. But I'm still on that origin story and it's been 4 years. The amount of times Johnny Bravo toed the line from Riz to sexual harassment was preposterous. And there was no towing the line. He decimated the line if there ever was a line. There was never a line. This man had the Riz of what a dude who watches Alpha podcast thinks he has to do to pull girls. Flexing in front of them, and grabbing their shoulders and massaging them, then pulling out his phone thinking they're gonna automatically put their number in it because they're so infatuated with them. If Johnny Bravo was a real he'd be the type of dude to start punching you in front of the hoes all of a sudden. Pulling some WWE and karate moves out the blue like he's training to be the next Dragon Warrior. There is no lengths Johnny Bravo wouldn't take to make it work. In one episode, he literally dressed like a girl to impress this girl. I really don't understand how this would work. Like, if we ain't talking about Ellen DeGeneres, then how is she gonna want you after this? You'd have a better chance with Lil Nas X. My man's even got drafted to the military and started flirting with his sergeant. Do you see her face of horror? How do you make a military sergeant even feel this way? He definitely got exploded in a bomb testing site after this. There was an episode where he was on furry timing, and I don't know what happened after this, but it can't be good. But by far the worst moment I've seen from Johnny Bravo is
Trouble Teen Hotline. Your boyfriend left you? So, what are you wearing? Why?
Case, why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified pet.
Yeah, I've heard enough. Lock this man the f up. As a matter of fact, how is Johnny Bravo not locked up? He's probably talked to every single woman that's existed in a 5-mile radius from him. Like, him and Quagmire could really be twins. Quagmire is so freaky, he got a whole catchphrase for when he feels horny. And I don't know how we be pulling the baddest in the world while saying giggity giggity goo, but it works every time. Like, this man be pulling off all his horny accolades while being 61. At 61, I'd be lucky if I could keep my up without downing 5 rhino pills. It already takes me about 2 to get through the day. It's weirdly impressive to me though, because it takes a lot of strength to keep up with that for 40 years in a row. They gotta put this man's energy to some type of different use. Like in that one episode where he first found out about internet porn and his arm came out the size of a bodybuilder. People worked their whole life to get that, bro. You know Quagmire's a freak when he got a house with things set up in each corner for a different type of kink. Like, I don't know how bro can even let his family in his house when in one corner you have a leg spreader 4000. In another corner you have a pegging pounder 3000. And it doesn't help that he has all different types of sex traps set around the house too. Quahog police move at snail speed because how is this man not arrested? His friend who's a whole ass cop knows about what he be up to and doesn't even care. Like, I'm just realizing how crazy that is because in reality that happens more than people think. Like, Joe, I don't care if you're in a wheelchair, put that in work and roll to your boss to write this man up. Quagmire gotta be one of the most slimy out there too. Like, how you about to get with your friend's wife? For y'all that don't know, he hooked up with Cleveland's ex-wife when they were still together. And then you're gonna start dating your best friend's daughter. He waited for it too. He waited for Meg to turn 18 and then he made his move. It's beyond me how Peter didn't execute him at that moment. And then they gleefully stayed friends after that. Quagmire's lucky Peter's the most sped on the planet, because if it was anyone else, he would be in his grave. He also married Lois and had kids with her in an episode where they were in a different universe. If I saw that, I don't care if it's a different universe, I'm dropping this on the spot. I wouldn't even want my homies to have the audacity to do that in a different universe. And while we're on Family Guy, we gotta include Herbert the Pervert. I don't know if it's him being a freak more than him being a vicious predator. Herbert is another example of a character that would not pass by if he came out today. They don't even show him anymore in Family Guy because of how wild he was. Like, the amount of methods he was using to spy on the children, I'm thinking he was a former CIA or FBI agent. He must have been at this for 50 years. And the Quag parents are completely blind to it 24/7. Like, how do you not notice this 90-year-old man chasing kids in the street? I feel so bad for Chris. Chris has been a victim since before I was even born. I mean, his parents are Peter and Lois, so I'm not really surprised. Someone who has no parents, though, is Denji. And he's also a freak also, you know, that's why he's in the video. Denji is easily the face of modern freaky around the world. He likes to get walked like a dog. He likes to bark for women. Never in my life am I getting walked like a dog or barking for a girl. You could get any woman in the world and I promise you it's not happening. I mean, his whole goal in life, admiration in the entire story, the thing that motivates him to work the hardest, is to lose his V card. I'm genuinely wondering what's about to happen to him when he finally does. Does he just go to a grass field living his days out while staring at the sunset? The perfect way to end off Chainsaw Man is he finally gets to lose it and goes, wow, that was more hyped up than I thought it was gonna be. I knew Denji was a freaky ass when in the anime, he completely decimates and kills this purple devil in broad daylight, all off the promise from Power that he could feel her tatas after, potentially risking his whole life on getting a cop of some tatas. And I'm not gonna spoil it for people because I have read a lot of the manga, and just know it only gets worse from where the anime is. You know what? I could hate on it for being such a dumb reason why, but it works at the end of the day, so hey, a motivator's a motivator. Better than a lot of freaky dudes on the list. But I feel bad because Denji's more of a victim than anything. First, this starts off with him basically getting groomed by Makima, and then Himino, who are both in their mid-20s while he's 16. They on that Drake type of time. It's crazy because if this manga was the exact reversal and it was a bunch of older dudes with this 16-year-old girl, yeah, it would be completely GG's. Someone else who's completely down bad to the max is Pepe Le Pew. Now, I don't know how many of y'all know this skunk from Looney Tunes, but if you don't, then it's probably better you don't. First off, just the thought of a freaky ass skunk is kind of funny. Like, out of all animals, you choose the most disgusting animal out there. Pepe Le Pew is freaky just like the others, but it's more the fact that he sneaks up and grabs girl cats then violently kisses them. And I'm more confused on the fact that his love interest is a cat. I did search it up and it is true that cats and skunks can indeed not procreate. So I don't know how their relationship works, but it's not gonna be normal. His character was so controversial that Warner Bros completely removed him. That should just show how freaky this skunk really was. Now, apparently some people want him revamped and back into the Looney Tunes universe. I don't know how they would pull this off when his whole image is coming up behind people unannounced and violently touching them. But who knows? Maybe they'll give the skunk a nice little shave, give him a new outfit with some clean shoes, a new attitude, and boom, he's back. Last, we got Finn from Adventure Time. People fail to forget that Finn wasn't only a down badass, he was also a freak. Like, tell me right now why out of all Finn's relationships he was in through all of Adventure Time, that he never had a relationship with a single human girl. This man was trying to get some candy cheeks before getting human cheeks. He's never had a relationship with a single human girl in the entire show's run. This man was messing with Bubblegum and, as we know, royally fumbled. And I found out later on that she apparently got with Marceline at the end of the story. So not only did he turn one girl to switch sides, but two. I think something was just wrong with this man's energy. I don't know. Let me go ahead and name all the types of people Finn got with before he got with the human. A fire person, a forest person, a pillow person, a bee person, and a worm? I'm not joking. There's an episode where he actually marries a worm. Technically, in the episode, it is a dream, but I've never had a dream where I married a worm. I guess since he's a worm too, it's It's fine though. Like, who am I to hate on his kink? This is kind of making me happy I never finished the show. Like, just doing research alone for this video confused me. When I was watching, man, it was just Finn and Jay goofing off in a treehouse going to the land of candy people sometimes. It took a complete turn, I guess. But hey, I can only talk about freaks so much or else I'll turn into one. Overall, a lot of these characters, Quagmire, Johnny Bravo, and Herbert, should definitely be put on a list. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually. And until next time, I'm out.